Baudelaire didactically demonstrating, as he will do again and again, how one must not succumb to illusions of purity, innocence, goodness, or even happiness. So, there may be two simultaneous postulations in man, one towards the devil, the other towards God, but original sin is always at the bottom of all of it, a sort of undertow that preserves the two simultaneous postulations while descending them into a lower confrontation with man's inexorable evil. The unicity of original sin, unum est origine, in the words of the Count of Trent, will always overwhelm the proliferation of dualities. Original sin, then, within the dialectic of good and evil, functions structurally such that the good can emerge suddenly shock-like, in Benjamin's sense, only to be returned to the primal soup of evil. Joy of descent, as Baudelaire puts it, is a kind of embrace your fate. If there is progress in any struggle for Baudelaire, progress is another fraught word for him, it is not the more inexorable move towards spirit, as in Hegel, nor that towards some sort of communitarian ideal in Marx or Proudhon. For Baudelaire, progress, more often than not, lies in the inevitability of descent. It is, as he writes in his work on Poe, that great heresy of decrepitude. Baudelaire's little men in their ghetto fight no less ferociously than did, as I've said, the master and slave in Hegel. But there's no advancement to be gained from this vicious struggle, no higher ground to which a new dialectic can be lifted up, and the conflicting forces remain of equal strength and thus afford no happy resolution, no matter how distant. It is man's inherent and inherited evil that causes the struggle, and that will make it win by simple virtue of the struggle itself. So, in other words, original sin is for Baudelaire the engine motivating the conflict even between children, causing the contradiction between the thought of the good and its constant defeat in the face of man's heredity. It's the same contradiction, by the way, that partially motivates the passage we considered from the Confessions. Even as a baby, man is sinful in the eyes of God. So Augustine writes, no man is free from sin, not even a child who has lived only one day on earth. Now, Baudelaire has frequent recourse to children who demonstrate their potential for evil as a kind of reminder to himself not to be taken in by the seductive promise of goodness. For him, it will always be a promise broken. Another of Augustine's phrases from the Confessions can only have been endorsed by our poet. Quote, if babies are innocent, it is not for lack of will to do harm, but for lack of strength. So, I hope you can see that this passage follows in Augustine as if in an earlier version of Le Gâteau. I have seen, writes Augustine, jealousy in a baby, and I know what it means. A toddler is jealous, he says, when his baby brother nurses at the breast, though there is abundant milk.